and they've always had a faith in God, the divine. So I know that it's blessed from here, and I just wanted to commend you all on your lovely daughter, who I didn't know was talented as well. So that's beautiful. But I wanted to share with you just a little bit, probably. I'm not going to do like the Baptist ministers. And, you know how they start praying, y'all just, oh Lord, we're ready to eat. I wish that I could take credit for all of my blessings and say that I am as strong as everybody tells me that I am, but I'm not. I'm not at all. All of my strength, complete surrender when I was diagnosed, came from God. And it is no secret, it's that simple, that's the answer. It was from God. When my husband came home on a Tuesday afternoon with the results from the radiologist, from the biopsy, and said it was carcinoma, I sat on the edge of my bed in a spot that is familiar to me for praying, and I said, Lord, I'm surrendering this to you because I have no idea what to do. And at that moment, I felt peace over me, a calming spirit, and when I tell you everything worked out more than I ever could have scripted it, it was perfect. I had been trying to get back into television news part-time. I did not want a full-time job again. I didn't want to be the main anchor. I just wanted a gig to have me something to do because I'm still committed to my son full-time. And when I tell you that it was the first time that I was given a TV job with everything I wanted and then some more, I didn't have to argue, I didn't have to say, call my agent. It was like, oh really? It was like, yes, we'll see you when you sign. And it worked out perfectly. I go to work at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm done at 5:15 every day. And I'm paid like I'm a full-time worker. And it is a wonderful opportunity for me to be able to still have an expression of work, but not be committed to television news, which we know is a crazy business. So I'm grateful for that. And that came on the day. I had been trying to get back in TV news for 2 years, and my news director emailed me the day I had surgery, which was December the 9th of 2013. And she said, if you're still interested in working, I think I have something that may work for you. I fully disclosed what was going on with my health. They hired me after I had surgery. So they hired me knowing that I would not be at full capacity. I've never once, not one time, ever gotten the feeling that I owe them something. You know, I go in, I do my job, everyone is respected, the work environment is pleasant. And I've worked in a lot of TV news stations, and that's a blessing. Because television news is even though it's a visual medium that you all see, it's not a public entity, it's a corporation. And we know that businesses are about money, the bottom line. So I'm a little bit warm. That happens as one of the side effects. You get menopause. But we're not going to talk about that. I started posting on Facebook because it was for me. It was not for other people. It was totally selfish. It was for my own healing and therapy. And what I found was that a lot of us get inspiration from knowing that when we go through something traumatic, like breast cancer, or anything that in your life that deals with a crisis, that when you share your experience with other people, and when you're honest and open about it, and when you talk about your faith, it spreads around just like love. And it has done that for me. So there's this piece that I wrote that I share a lot. It's something that kind of is a personal testament on how I overcame all of the challenges. I mean, I was able to, through 4 rounds of chemo, I was able to still go to work. I think I missed a total of 6 days from the whole thing. 6 days. And I was honest with myself. I said, God, if you give me the strength to get up every day, even though I don't feel like it, and I did not. I only recently here have started feeling better to where I'm not extremely fatigued, because it would take all of my energy just to get up, to get myself dressed, to go to work, to have the energy to appear like I was alive when I was reading the news, and then come home, because I would be physically exhausted, and I would get in the bed at 7 or 8 o'clock and go to sleep because my body would need to recuperate. It was something that simple for me, which I was a very high energy person. So that was a great challenge for me, and it was a blessing. I said, every day that I can go, I will. So in the course of that, I think I only missed 6 days from work. And, you know, a lot of us, we be complaining about our job, and we don't want to go to our job. But I didn't look at it like that at all. You have a different sense of what's important in your values when you recognize that it could end at any moment. And then you really bring into focus clearly, with clarity, what's important and what's not. And certainly those little trivial things that used to bother you don't bother you anymore. You recognize that your time is valuable. Time is valuable. And you manage it. I try to manage it well. I'm a manager of my life. I know that it's a gift from God. But I call this renewal and constant change. Because as long as, my mom used to say, as long as you are living and breathing, yes, you are always changing. And that's what we have to accept with life. And it's no irony to me or coincidence that I'm sharing with you today as I'm also remembering Maya Angelou, who I was privileged to meet personally on 2 occasions and share with her. And she's been a really personal inspiration since I was in like the 4th grade, because I grew up as dark as I am right now. And in the 70s, when I was a kid and was tall and skinny in Detroit, Michigan, I was ridiculed and taunted and teased and called names: Blackie, Smokey, Dark, Bunny, all these names that kids would ridicule me as to make me feel bad about my physical appearance because I was dark-skinned. And when I read I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, it was just like a liberation for me to know that my experience had value. And it allowed me to have the courage to love myself for who I was and never try to be anybody else, good, bad, or ugly. It doesn't mean I'm any more than anybody, but I'm certainly not any less than anyone else. And I think that's a message that unfortunately is still very relevant today as I speak in schools, and I still hear children taunting other children about their skin color. So I'm going to share some of Maya's work with you as well, but this piece I call Renewal and Constant Change. Renewal and Constant Change. I've adopted the butterfly as my symbol. Think about butterfly's life. It starts off as a caterpillar in a cocoon, trapped. It's dark and confined. What's happening in that cocoon is constant change and evolution. It's slowly growing. It's intense inside that very small space. Circular motions around and around, back and forth, horizontal and vertical. Its heart constantly beating, thump, 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 thump. The caterpillar is being pulled in all kinds of directions. It's being stretched and pushed to all kinds of limits, renewing itself and constantly changing. The butterfly is earning its wings. I imagine the butterfly doesn't know what's going on. It only feels that it's a caterpillar. It can't see the light of day. It gets no reassurance, but undeterred, it keeps on moving and constantly evolving. Its heart constantly beating, thump, 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 thump. Its movements are limited to the small space that encompasses it, but the caterpillar inches on, fighting to break through the shell that confines it. With each day, it fights to break free from the environment that seems to be limiting it, holding it back, not realizing that this barrier is not a trap, but rather it's protection. It is not time to break free just yet. Just a bit more preparation. You are still getting what you need, so you will be able to soar above the mountains. Your wings need to be strong so you can journey to great destinations. Take the monarch butterfly. We only marvel at its beauty, the intricate design, how the corners of its wing spread are like an exclamation point from God, how it lights on a pistil of a flower with such fluid grace. But this butterfly is more than just beautiful, it's strong. It can fly thousands of miles. Monarch butterflies pollinate millions of flowers. The average butterfly's life is just 2 weeks, but to that butterfly, it's an eternity. I see the butterfly's life symbolic of my life. I was born to circumstances that appeared limited. I was confined to an environment that seemed to keep me trapped. I didn't know I was in a cocoon being prepared for the arduous journey of life. Sometimes we see things only as they appear on the surface. We may look at a fence and think that we are being locked inside, but all the while it's a guardrail to protect us from harm. Greatness is an evolutionary process, and no man, try as he may, can defy Father Time. Like the caterpillar, I was inching along to my greatness and earning my wings to soar. I did not know that I was a beautiful creation and intricately designed until I broke free from the limited negative thinking that made me a prisoner of my own mind. It takes honest introspection and discipline to evolve as a human being. It requires work. You got to do like the butterfly in the cocoon. You got to go round and round, back and forth, horizontal and vertical. Your heart has to be engaged in the process. You have to endure hardship, pain, disappointment, betrayal, rejection. People are going to lie to you. They're going to lie on you. They're going to lie in your face, behind your back. They're going to try to steal your joy and break your spirit. And some will do this while smiling in your face. But do not let them stop you from evolving into the beautiful creation that you are meant to become. People can only see the physical you, but God sees and knows what lies within you. My song that I adopted through my process is a song that the words should hopefully tell you how I learned to love myself. Lost touch with my soul. I had nowhere to turn. I had nowhere to go. Lost sight of my dream. Thought it would be the end of me. I thought I'd never make it through. I had no hope to hold on to. I thought I might break. I didn't know my own strength, and I crashed down and I tumbled, but I did not crumble. I got through all that pain. I didn't know my own strength. Whoa. Found hope in my heart. I found the light to light my way out of the dark. Found all that I need. Lord, it was here inside me. I thought I'd never find my way. I thought I'd never lift that weight. I thought I might break. I didn't know my own strength, and I crashed down and I tumbled, but I did not crumble. I got through all that pain. I didn't know my own strength. There were so many times I wondered how I'd get through the night. I thought I took all that I could take. I didn't know my own strength. Oh. So I keep songs in my heart, in my spirit, in my soul, and I know that God is divine, that no matter what happens to me, no matter what confronts me, when I surrender to Him and accept His grace. See, a lot of times we don't recognize when God shows up because we're so busy thinking we're in control. We are managers. We're just the manager. We are just the manager. I want to conclude with a shred from Maya Angelou that I heard her do in 1994 when I was a young starting reporter in Kansas City, Missouri, trying to find my way in the business of TV news and discovering who I am and loving myself completely. And it's a shred from a Negro spiritual, but the song is about a testament from God that even though you go through the storms of life, that after every storm in your life, whatever it is, we all have different storms, whatever it is, after every storm, that God promised, and He never breaks His promise, He promised that there would be a rainbow, and that rainbow was His message that He was there for you. And it goes like this. When it looked like the sun wasn't going to shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the sky. When it looked like the sun wasn't going to shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the sky. She does not know her beauty For she thinks that her brown body has no glory. But oh, if she could dance naked underneath the stars with the sand between her toes, then she would know. But there are no beaches in Memphis, and dishwater gives back no reflection. But still, when it looked like the sun wasn't gonna shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the sky. Thank you.